In this video lesson, you'll discover how to paint in watercolor using the wet-on-wet glazing technique.
In order to explain and demonstrate the wet-on-wet glazing technique, I will use the same object as in the previous lesson, an apple. First, I will prepare a mix of colors for the first layer, mixing a couple of pigments on the palette. As the name of the painting technique suggests, it has to be done wet on wet. That is why, to prepare watercolor paper for the first glazing layer, I apply clean water over the apple drawing with a soft natural hair watercolor brush. This high-quality brush comes from Escoda. Now, with another flat brush from Escoda, I take the pre-prepared mix of paints and apply it onto the wet paper surface. The degree of paper wetness is somewhere between satin and moist, and the paintbrush is also moist. That is why the paint does not flow uncontrollably, but the borders of the brush strokes are quite soft. You can see that I preserved a portion of the white paper to suggest a highlight by painting around it. Now I have to thoroughly dry this first layer. The next glazing layer will be warmer and more saturated, so I add a couple of more pigments into the mix of the palette,